Sip Bliss, Sip Anand Ki Coach, Sip Paratyama, remove me from admin, Sip Vinayak, Sip Laveen, Sip Lakshmi, and there are many of you, I can't see you, and most of the people are in Pune with us for the retreat. So we are 40 of us here. Obviously, we are therefore less people the on the Zoom call. But anybody wants to log in from your phone, you can log in to see what's happening, to hear what's happening, and at least if you want to ask questions, you log in from your phone and you can ask questions. So, my dear friends, today the topic of discussion today, administrator. The theme for today's discussion is enlightenment our ultimate destination? Is enlightenment our ultimate destination? So, with this note, I am throwing open the session to all of you to ask questions. You can, of course, ask any question, but today we are in Pune on the subject of enlightenment, on spiritual awakening. So, Will, I see Will is raising his hand first. So we will go with Master Will.
Shivohang, I spread my joy to you and your happy company, your great good fortune. You are the salt of the earth. You're in a very precious opportunity, all of you.
Thank you.
Even the Brahma gods would be extremely jealous of you. The very high devas. So the first question is really a question. Jesus Christ said, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God." And when he uses the phrase pure in heart, I think he means those who are in moral purity. And that's the question I have, that if one's life is in a state of such disorder and corruption, then there is probably little chance of making much progress. I don't know if you agree with that.
Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God.
Yes, sir.
When we say pure in heart, it means many things. It means blessed are the pure. Pure means you have been able to transcend the mind and the ego. Because only then the heart is pure. Actually, when in those days, when they use the word heart, they actually mean soul. They actually mean blessed are those who are pure souls, for they shall see God. That's exactly what we say. What do we say? That if you realize you are the soul, then you realize Shiv. So this is it. It's not only about the pure in heart means being kind, compassionate. That is not enough. Blessed are what he really means, Jesus Christ, is blessed are the pure in spirit. Blessed are the pure in soul. And to me, this is how I would read it. So, Will, you have any other question?
I'll come back later in a minute.
Thank you. Thank you, Will. Because only being pure in heart, which means, first of all, the heart is not pure or impure. The heart is just an organ that pumps blood. So technically, it's nothing to do with the heart. The heart is not capable of doing any emotions. It is just that it's a way of expression. Bliko and Venkat.
Shivoham, everybody.
Yes.
And I love you all. So my question, the question today is enlightenment and ultimate destination. Ultimate destination is the unification with God. That is only possible after we leave this body, right? But my ultimate goal is enlightenment right now, because that stage is now, I cannot think beyond that stage right now. So that is my ultimate goal. And my second, my second comment is, I can see one big change in you, that you are now without coffee.
Without coffee.
Coffee mug.
I
So
know
how you
burger is
feel?
there, but there's no
There
coffee
is
in
no
the
problem,
burgers.
right?
There's green tea,
Green tea, but no coffee,
no coffee, and no tea also, no
no
chai.
tea also. Very good, very good. I'm going to, think about stopping this tea coffee business because I'm
No,
only taking only one cup a day. That's it.
that's not a problem. I was
No, no.
addicted to it. I
Oh.
dropped it because I was addicted, and the doctor told me
Mhm.
every time you have tea and coffee, I know Samatma will agree or not. She's our nutritionist here. The spikes, the coffee and tea creates spikes and creates more craving and reduces metabolism. I'm not sure what is the answer. Samatma?
Yeah.
But if you have four teas, 4 coffees every day, no big and strong, it's not good, right? So a little bit of tea and coffee is not bad. But
No.
I just wanted to give it a kind of a disciplinary thing from my side. It was more to
But
see whether I have control or not.
but
It
you
was more
can
spiritual.
also, yeah, but you can also feel the change, right? Because I can see your, the because of the reduction of the extra fat, you look more, energetic, right? Inside, from inside also.
I don't know. Do I look more energetic?
Yes.
People are here. Yes, so I think probably people here think I'm looking more fit and more energetic. So it's a good feeling. You are at least
Yeah,
I'm feeling good. It's a good feeling.
yeah.
To lose weight is a good feeling.
And I
Done.
want to. Yesterday I was sick. I don't know. There was something come up. I have to drive. So I want to see the face of everybody. If you can move the camera for a minute.
So we'll go next to Venkat, but first we move the camera for Bliko. So
Yeah.
here you are, Bliko.
Oh, amazing! Very nice.
So everybody is
Very
here,
nice. Oh, very nice.
including Krishna.
Uh,
Krishna was not here
love you
yesterday.
all. Love you all.
Krishna has come.
Congratulations. You are very lucky guys. Okay, thank you.
So Bliko is in Canada. So from Canada, Bliko is asking that how are we enjoying? Good,
Very good.
Bliko.
Very
We miss
good.
you. We wish all of you were
No
here.
problem.
You
Yeah.
will, like all of you, we wish all of you were here, but then we know everybody can't be here. We've got to, our life has to move on. Okay, so there we are. It's Bliko and Venkat.
Is it me or Bliko?
Yes, Venkat. Venkat.
Oh, okay. I thought it's Bliko. Okay. Yeah, Shivam, everyone. It was very nice to see everybody got together everywhere. One day, hopefully, I will be also there. That's my
Good.
plan, hopefully. Coming back to the question today, I feel, yes, that should be our goal. Our final destination is an enlightenment. It's like uniting with the super soul, uniting with the SIP, right? So that should be our final destination, and that should be the only thing on our mind all the time. That we have to train our mind to just think about that, and so that it doesn't have the other desires, other worldly things which are not going to be permanent anyway. So that final destination has to be that. That is what I think.
So
Hello?
you're right. You are right in what you say. There's an enlightenment final destination. But you know what Bliko said? Bliko said something which is a food for thought. He said, enlightenment is the final destination for me, but I want to go even one step further later on. I want not just enlightenment, realization, liberation, unification. But Bliko said, that's all later. I don't want that now. For the moment, I want just enlightenment for me. And so that's a very
But
nice
isn't it the
way
same?
for.
Isn't it same when isn't it same when I'm and isn't it same?
No.
But isn't it same when I'm enlightened means unified with the
No.
divine? No,
When,
isn't it the
no,
same?
when you're enlightened, what happens is, at that point you are awakened. You are awakened as to who you are, what you are. You are awakened, but you are not yet in the moment of death. You are not yet liberated. So, which means, Venkat, I'm explaining this to you. It means that suppose you are enlightened.
Mm-hmm.
Suppose you are enlightened, but you slip. Very rare chance. But suppose you are enlightened and you slip. If you slip means, what happens is, then you are not going to be liberated. if you are enlightened and you slip, you're not going to be liberated. This is a big challenge.
I'm a
So
little
you have
confused
to-
here because if I'm enlightened, then the body, mind, ego is, I'm not the body, mind, ego. I'm very sure about it. I'm very confirmed about that. I'm not a body, mind, ego. Then only I'm enlightened. So if I'm enlightened, why would a body, mind, ego would come back to me as me? That should not
Because you're-
happen. Then only I can
because
sleep,
you're
right?
still living in the body. You're still living in the body. And suppose you fall in love with somebody who you want to marry and get children. You're enlightened. You should not. You should not get into that samsara, because if you're enlightened and you get into that kind of a life, then you can't live with the freedom. You can't live. If you're already married, you have children, and you're enlightened, it's fine. But you can't pursue a new type of life. Then you may slip.
Right.
See, for example, let me give you. We normally don't talk of Osho, but
Mhm.
when I know you heard of Osho, you heard of Rajneesh Osho.
Yeah. I've heard him also a lot of times. Yeah.
So he's supposed to have been awakened or enlightened with the kind of talks he gives when he was in India in Hindi and things like that.
Right.
Then he got lost in 100, 200, 300 Rolls Royces and 300 Rolex watches and everything that is not enlightenment. So this is, I don't have any other example except this example to give you. Normally, I don't like to quote somebody. I don't like to quote somebody like this.
Right. So another question, sir, like even after getting, I'm not trying to question anybody like this, like even after enlightenment, cravings are normal?
No, not normal.
Like you said, you
but
still have a
abnormal.
craving for coffee. You said like, yeah.
Not normal, but not, it is possible.
So I thought, I'm in my mind, like if I'm getting enlightened, all my desires will be shut. I won't have any desire to eat this. I don't have a desire to yahan ghumne jana hai. I won't have a desire to. I'm thinking enlightenment like that.
No,
So maybe I'm having a wrong.
Yeah. So enlightenment will not make you, for example, enlightenment means suppose you want to have a burger, you can have a burger, but you won't drive 200 kilometers to try a new burger of McDonald's.
Okay.
Enlightenment
if it's in front of you, you'll have it. Like
you can have. Enlightenment doesn't mean that you have to give up everything. But enlightenment means you will not chase meaningless things. You will not run. Enlightenment, I don't encourage people to give up anything. So if you are enlightened, you should continue to live your lifestyle in a normal way, but lock your lifestyle and then focus on spirituality. Not, for example, if you're living in this house, you continue to live in this house.
Right.
But you don't break your head for next 5 years trying to build a new house when you start thinking which should be the handle, what should be the door, what should be the kitchen, what fridge you should buy.
Right. Okay. I know it. Yes.
Yeah, but you have a car, you continue. You don't have to move from a car to a bicycle. I hope you got me. So you don't, guys, you're hearing what I'm saying? Enlightenment does not mean that we should reduce our standards. But we should not have new cravings. We should not have new cravings. Okay, Venkat, anything else?
Yep. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good. Then is enlightenment our ultimate destination? Manita.
Good evening, one and all. From my thought process, I mean, enlightenment is a beginning, and then, of course, it's an end as well. It's a destination as well. But finding a purpose throughout your life while you're awakened is important, and not going behind any worldly, pleasures or desires without a meaning, I guess.
Okay. So is enlightenment our ultimate destination? Good. Well said, Manita. I like your answer. You're trying to toy with the concept. But what is the question today? Premchandji, we are going next, Premchandji. What is the question today? Is enlightenment our ultimate destination? Enlightenment is one destination, not ultimate. Because after enlightenment, we have to live as an enlightened soul. We have to get liberation. We have to get unification. We have to attain that state of moksha. Today in the retreat, that's our theme. in the retreat itself. The enlightenment is the beginning of a journey. Enlightenment is the end of one journey and the beginning of another journey. Enlightenment is the end of the journey of seeking, and it is the beginning of the journey of unification with Supreme. So I hope you all are getting this point. There are two journeys. One journey is the journey to self-realization, enlightenment. The second journey is from self-realization to God realization. So there are two journeys in enlightenment. Therefore, this question today is trying to help you to realize this. Premchandji and Will.
Shivam Gurudev,
Sir.
ours is a yoga yoni. So united with the divines is the ultimate goal of this life. So that we and the second journey, we don't know what happens and what does not happen, that we don't know. But this, once if we are united with God, if united with divine, your achievement is full.
Correct. You are
But
absolutely right.
at the same time, I would like to ask you a silly question. I'm not body, I'm not mind, I'm not ego. So when I'm not body, then why should I get it treated once as soon as I get ill? Why should I go to doctor? Should I accept as a surrender? What's your idea?
When you are sick, your body is sick, you are asking, why should I go to doctor?
Yes, sir.
Because your body is the temple of your soul. Your body is
तो मैं बॉडी को छोड़ दूं अब तो?
बॉडी को नहीं छोड़ सकते. आपको बॉडी, सुनिए बात, आप बॉडी को नहीं छोड़ सकते, बॉडी आपको छोड़ेगा.
तो मुझे दवाएं खानी पड़ेंगी.
आपको जब तक बॉडी नहीं छोड़ता है, आप नहीं छोड़ सकते बॉडी को.
तो मुझे जब शरीर है ही नहीं तो छोड़ दो, छुड़वा दो गुरुदेव.
That is, वो हो गया आत्महत्या. That is called आत्महत्या.
गुरुदेव दुखी हो गया है दवाई खाते खाते.
नहीं प्रेमचंद जी, आप दवाई चॉकलेट समझ के खाओ. आप सुखी चॉकलेट ये दवाई खाओ.
सुखी तो मैं तो गुरुदेव, मैं तो आपसे जब से आपसे टच में आया हूँ, मैं तो सुखी हूँ. मैं तो बस
बोलो प्रभु
न मेरी कोई इच्छा है, न मेरी कोई इच्छा है, न कोई काम है. कोई भूले भटका कोई घर वालों का कोई अटेंड कर लिया. अदरवाइज आई हैव नो वर्क, नो डिजायर.
आप जैसे खुशनसीब आदमी को मैंने कभी जिंदगी में देखा नहीं. आप जैसे खुशनसीब आदमी को मैंने कभी जिंदगी में देखा नहीं. यू आर सो फॉर्चुनेट. आप अपने लाइफ के पीक में हैं और प्रभु के प्यारे हैं और सब जानते हैं, एंड यू आर लिविंग अ लाइफ ऑफ अ योगी. आप जैसे आदमी मिलना बहुत मुश्किल है. अभी आप स्लिप मत होना.
बस मैं तो ये मेडिसिन के मारे परेशान हो गया गुरु.
परेशान मत हो. बोलो प्रभु जो तुम्हारी मर्जी मंजूर है.
आखिर ये तो मैं रोज ही कहता हूँ कि प्रभु तेरी इच्छा है, मुझे रोज बुला ले. वो आपका वो लाइन ही गाता हूँ रोज ही कि अपनी शरण में ले लो प्रभु मुझे, इस माया से जो मेरा भर गया. उसे रोज गाता हूँ मैं.
लेकिन प्रभु को ये मत पूछो तुम क्यों मुझे तकलीफ देते हो, मैं दवाई खाता हूँ, मुझे मुश्किल हो रही है.
ये नहीं. मैं प्रभु को तो दोष दे ही नहीं सकता. मैं तो थैंक यू बोलता हूँ प्रभु को.
बस कबूल.
थैंक यू वेरी मच.
आप मुक्ति और मोक्ष के द्वार पे खड़े.
अब देखो क्या होता है.
तो आपको वापस एक कदम वापस नहीं लेना.
मैं यही चाहता हूँ कि मैं यही चाहता हूँ कि मैं इस जीवन में गिरूं नहीं वापस.
पक्का गारंटी आप नहीं गिरेंगे. लेकिन आप ये मत बोलो कि मैं परेशान हूँ. फिर परेशान कौन है?
कभी आता है दिमाग में, जैसे नए IPO आ रहे हैं, ये आ रहे हैं, मैं अप्लाई करूँ नहीं करूँ, फिर मैं छोड़ देता हूँ. मैंने कहा मुझे कुछ नहीं करना, मैं आई डू नॉट डू इट.
जो भी आपको समझ में आता है, कीप इन माइंड the body is the temple of the soul. प्रभु का घर है. आपको प्रभु के घर को संभालना है, नहीं संभालना है?
प्रभु का घर तो है ही.
तो आपको संभालना है. You are the caretaker. You are the caretaker of God's house.
Thank you for new concept, caretaker.
हाँ तो बोलो प्रभु मैं आपके मंदिर का मैं गार्ड हूँ, मैं आपके मंदिर का देखने वाला हूँ, मैं
आज से
देखूंगा, ठीक।
एक नया थॉट और मिल गया कि दैट आई एम अ गार्ड। थैंक यू वेरी मच गुरु।
Thank you, Premchandji. Will, the Premchandji is so devout, 84, 80, 85, 84, and very, very aligned to enlightenment, mukti, moksha. Very beautiful. Will,
Shivang, I just want to come back to this question. The Buddha praised, what he emphasized was really two words. One is what he called tanha, craving, and the other one is attachment, like upadana or various words for attachment. I wonder, when you talk about purity of spirit, would you agree that it means freedom from those two? Is that?
see, the moment you have craving and attachment, then you are the body and mind and ego. There is no pure spirit, there is no divine spirit in you.
Yes, exactly.
If you want to live as the divine spirit, then you have to believe Luke 17, the kingdom of God is within. Corinthians 4:16, God lives in the temple of your heart. When you are in that mode where you realize that you are nothing but a manifestation, you are the Holy Spirit, then the Holy Spirit does not need to have attachment. The Holy Spirit does not need to have craving. What craving? Everything is Maya. Everything is an illusion. What kind of craving should I have?
So, purity of spirit really means freedom from the mind. Like you use this word mind, and you define it in a certain way, but somehow to explain to ordinary people, I think, am I right in saying it's freedom from the mind? And second of all,
Yeah, absolutely right. Freedom from the mind. What is the mind? It's nothing but a bundle of toxic thoughts. M-I-N-D. Will. Mind means misery, ignorance, negativity, desire. M-I-N-D. This is mind.
And by that you mean toxic thoughts. And could you give me an example of what you mean by toxic thought?
Okay, suppose there are thoughts of fear, worry, stress, anxiety, regret, shame, and guilt. I'm giving you 7 areas of toxic thoughts.
Yeah.
Suppose you're living with fear. How can you attain God if you are living with fear? Because if you are living with fear, that means you're not living with faith. So there's fear, worry. When you worry, that means you don't accept God's will. Then stress. When you are stressed out, that means, again, you have no enthusiasm. You have not accepted karma. So all these words, anxiety, regret, for example, regret, you are still living in that state. What is over, but you are still living in that state of regret. All these toxic thoughts, these toxic thoughts, they bind us to this world.
Yes.
And they bind us to this world and we become caught. We become stuck in this world.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, done? So I thank you. So anybody here wants to ask questions so that the questions on on Zoom are over. Anybody here wants to ask questions? What? Chakra. Chakra is okay. This is Lohit in the Zoom call asking the question, and then we will come to Sundargiri next, and then anybody else here wants to ask questions. Krishna. So is chakra? What is chakra? Chakra is supposed to be energy centers in the body. The body is a construct of the soul. So chakra to me may exist in the sense that energy centers in the body, but is not related to spirituality. People try to raise the chakra from your genitals to your stomach, to your heart, to your head. So you raise the chakras, and this is sometimes called kundalini. So this is to do with the body. But in spirituality, we realize we are not the body. So spirituality is a different subject. For example, people perform acupressure or acupuncture. What do you call it? Acupuncture or acupressure means that they will press your toes and your headache will become okay. Now, maybe it will happen, but it's nothing to do with spirituality. You may raise your energy levels of chakra from your genitals upwards, and your energy may rise. But that energy is not the soul energy. That is the body energy. Huh? It's not a real, it's not a myth. When you say real, is it really spiritual? No. Is there something like chakra that you can rise your energy? Yes, you may be able to, but that will not give you enlightenment. That's a myth. With chakra, you just by raising your energy level, you will become enlightened. No, cannot become enlightened. Enlightenment is a different game altogether. It needs grace of God, guidance of the Guru. It needs mumukshutva, jigyasu. You cannot just raise kundalini energy, enlightenment. Nah, not possible. So Krishna, Sudargiri, I can't see Krishna. And then next Sudargiri, yes.
Because we found that because we goes into the retreat, our ultimate elements.
So you want to answer the question? You are saying that
The ultimate element is moksha into the one unified with itself.
good. So Krishna's answering the question. She's saying ultimate destination, ultimate aim is not enlightenment, it is moksha. This is the theme of the retreat. But what is enlightenment then in the journey?
It is one step to move ahead.
Good.
So that realization or realization.
In Switzerland, when we go to Switzerland, they have got, when you're going up the mountain, you climb at one destination and the train, you change the train and take another train up to the mountain. So there are two different trains you take. You want to go to Yongprau. So there are different you have to take different trains. One train will take you to one peak, and then the second train will take you to the second peak. So it's like that. Enlightenment is one peak. And the liberation and unification with the divine is the second peak. So we have now finished with Krishna. We have Sundargiri and Yogini. Sundargiri and Yogini. And then anybody here who wants to still speak. Sundargiri and Yogini.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir.
In my understanding, sir, of course, our final destination is enlightenment, sir.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, some people may know that their destination is enlightenment, but some people may not know. But knowingly or unknowingly, the final destination is enlightenment only, sir. That's what I think.
Final destination, if it's enlightenment, what happens after enlightenment? After enlightenment, is your journey of life over?
After enlightenment, yes, the journey is over.
No. After enlightenment, enlightenment means in the stage of 8 stages of spiritual awakening, enlightenment is stage number 5. Mumukshu, Jigyasu, Jnani, Yogi, Buddha. You become awake, you become awakened, you become enlightened. Then
what you said, sir? Buddha or what you said?
Buddha.
Oh, okay, Buddha. Yeah.
Then you must live as a Sthit Pragya. You must become a Jivan Mukta and live as a Satchit Anand Atma. So you have to grow up to the state of Satchit Anand Atma. In that state of Satchit Anand Atma, you are liberated and united with the Supreme. So the ultimate, is enlightenment our ultimate destination? The answer is no. The ultimate destination is salvation, moksha, nirvana, liberation, unification.
Yeah, but in English, there is not the synonymous of like moksha, sir, I think. The synonymous of moksha is enlightenment itself, I think,
no.
in the English language.
Moksha is not enlightenment. Moksha is unification with the Supreme. It is, you can call it salvation, but salvation is the wrong term, you're right. We should, after enlightenment, which is realization, there is liberation, the moment of death, and unification with the divine. When you become one with Sip, that is the ultimate. Then there is no coming back. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I have another question also, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, when I
Yogini,
listen
next.
you, yeah, when I listen you, everything is okay for me. Very, very enlightening talks you give, and I'm enjoying it. It is helping me very much, sir. But when you talk about also Rajnish, then sometimes I feel very, you know, discomfortable. You know.
What makes you feel discomfort? What I'm
Yeah.
only saying, let me tell you what I'm saying. I'm saying that when we get enlightened, we should not be greedy for having 100 cars, 200 cars, 300 cars, and 100 watches, and 200 watches, and 300 watches. Is there anything wrong? I'm saying.
Yeah. His purpose behind it might be something different, sir.
So therefore, I don't
Because
like to give an example. And normally I don't give his example. But when somebody asked me a particular question, I was forced to give that example.
Yeah, when we read his literature and when we listen his talks, videos, and everything, you know, he seems he's completely enlightened by his talks, by his reading, definitely.
That's why.
But
That's why it's very confusing. That's why. On one side.
Yeah, by using the Rolls Royce and some other activities of bhoga activities, you know, his motive, his purpose might be something different to teach us, might be for the worldly people.
Let me ask
Yes,
you a
sir.
question. Suppose you respect me a lot.
Yes, sir.
You are listening to a Zoom call, you respect me a lot. Tomorrow I come and stay in your house. And when I stay in your house in the morning, when you wake up, I have taken all your belongings and I have run away from your house. Then will you still respect me?
If you are the real master, then there is again there is some good motive behind it, sir. If you are the real master, real master plays in different ways.
Okay, this is
real
called
master plays in different ways.
This is called what they believe. This is called blind faith. So when you have blind faith, you cannot see through the reality. But I respect. I am not disagreeing with what you say. I respect what you say, and it is my policy not to comment on Osho. So I am going to not comment. And unfortunately, I gave an example because I did not have a better example. Okay.
Yeah, most of the spiritual master take his reference, sir. Almost every masters from these days, they take his reference only. But why they are taking reference if he is not enlightened?
So
there is no need to take reference, sir.
Yeah, so I don't think that the Advaita masters will take reference, because in Advaita we should not be craving for the Maya, the Leela, and the desire and the greed should not be more. But Sundargiri, let's not argue. I don't want to get into an argument with you. I respect what you're saying, and we will not use the example. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You may use, sir. You may use. I don't mind, but that's what my feeling is.
It's not about your saying. I'm telling you, it is my policy not to use. I don't speak. Have you heard me speaking last few months? Have you heard me speaking about him?
No,
I don't speak about him. Okay.
Few months back, I heard, sir. Few months back.
And I don't speak now. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yogini Venkat Rutanu, and anybody here who wants to ask.
Shivam, sir.
Yes, sure.
So my priority is to be enlightened, because I feel enlightenment will be the stepping stone towards liberation for me.
Good. This is exactly what I think Bliko said. Bliko said, for me, my current goal is enlightenment. But people in the retreat here have changed their mind.
Yes.
They say we are already enlightened. Now we want moksha. So in the retreat, enlightenment has become like a child's play for everybody. Everybody feels they're enlightened already. But it's good to think like that, Yogini, like what Bliko said. First step to get enlightened, and then second step is moksha. Correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Well said. Ruth, Anu, and Venkat.
Shivam, I'm sorry, I'm just, because of my confusion, coming back to the same question.
Yes, Venkat.
So don't, but if I repeat the same thing also, I hope it's okay. Yeah. So when you say enlightenment, and then there is another step for us to get, which is liberated. So And I know you also spoke to Premchand. Like the body is needed for enlightenment and liberation. It's a must tool to get it done, or it can a soul be liberated even after it leaves the body?
No. The soul has to be liberated in that moment when it leaves the body. Because in the moment of death, one of two things happen. In the moment of death, in that very moment, either there is realization or there's reincarnation.
So, for a liberated person, what is the thought at the time of death? What is the he will be saying, okay, I don't need anything, or I don't have, is like empty mind, or
An
I know.
enlightened person starts to believe I am not the body, mind, ego, I am the soul. Then he lives as the soul. He lives as soul, and he lives as Sip. He starts to experiencing Sip in all. He experiences God in one and all. And in that moment, for him, death is not a moment of desperation. Death is a moment of celebration. Death is a moment of liberation. When he dies, he tells, I'm happy to die because I'm going to become one with Sip.
Okay.
He's not scared of death. He has no fear of death.
But there are other things which I read it in the past or different. I know I've been reading a lot of things before coming here. They say like Vairagya is the first step for enlightenment. So is what the step you're talking about is same as Vairagya? Vairagya means there is no more desire to attain anything more in the वैराग्य मोक्ष की एक सीढ़ी है जैसे बोलते हैं ना. I'm just trying, I've read.
There are 4 doors: Vivek, Vairagya, Shat Shampat, and Mumukshutva. There are 4 doors you must have read to that state of enlightenment and towards God realization.
Okay.
So in that, one is Vivek. One is Vivek means using your intellect. One is Vairagya. Vairagya means being dispassionate, being detached. It does not mean that you have to give up every desire. No, you may have the desire for God. You have desire for liberation. But Vairagya means you are no more craving for the material world.
Okay. But that is one of the definite step we need that before enlightenment.
Absolutely. Okay. Because if you're a bhogi, if you're running after the material world in bhoga, you cannot be a yogi. Either you can be a bhogi or you can be a yogi.
Okay. Yeah. That's. I'm just trying to maybe there are different words used in different terms. Sometimes it confuses.
No problem. But are you clear? You want to clarify anything more?
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay, good. But they're good questions. These are all questions of a genuine seeker who wants liberation, who wants enlightenment. These are genuine questions. So we're going to Ruth Anu, and then we'll be open to the all participants. Ruth Anu.
Shivoham, Guruji.
Yes, Shivoham.
Guruji, ultimate destination is moksha, but there is one more destination that we should not slip from enlightenment. That is also a bigger task.
You must not slip for enlightenment. That is, you have to lock the mind and block the mind and be in consciousness, and you have to be sip on lip, and you have to live as a yogi. All this is part of the journey. But not slipping is not a step. Of course, you have to be careful. Because if you are in enlightenment, suppose you reach the state of enlightenment, then I get so often I fall. Suppose today I tell you, Ruth Anu, I have good news. I have fallen in love. I'm getting married tomorrow. Then what it means?
It doesn't mean that you have fallen from enlightenment. You can still get married.
If a person who is awakened, a truly awakened person, will not fall into something in which he will have to sink. Therefore, that can stop the enlightenment from becoming liberation and unification.
But Guruji, you only tell if you're married, then also you can get enlightenment. So after enlightenment, if you get married and don't get into it.
So I have told this point very clearly. Have I not told this point very clearly? If you are married, you can get enlightenment. But if you are enlightened, you will not get married. They're two separate things, I'm telling you. If you are enlightened, that means you are mukt. You will not get yourself caught in a marriage.
Yes,
Because
Guruji.
marriage becomes a fetter. Marriage stops you from becoming liberated. So therefore, it's a delicate thing. I know it troubles all those who are married or all those who are in a relationship. Because what happens is, I have only one relationship. What's the relationship?
With divine.
My relationship with SIP. I have only one relationship with SIP. And I love everybody as SIP. I don't love the body. I love
Soul.
SIP. I love the soul. So
Yes.
this is the reality. So therefore, for people who are married, who have families, it becomes that much more difficult. I gave an analogy. I gave an analogy. It's like, huh? I told you, is it? So I told Lohit that if you are trying to go to railway station, and the railway station or some of the railway stations has got CD, climb up the steps, then cross the bridge, then go down, then climb another step, then climb another bridge, then go down. If you take 3 suitcases, not 2, but 3, 4 suitcases, and you climb up the bridge and go down and up the bridge and go down, you have done that now. Now again, after 1 month, you're going on the same train again. Will you carry 4 bags? So the enlightened person has already climbed the bridges. The enlightened person will not again want to climb, because see, unless you have a spiritual relationship, it's very difficult to have a worldly relationship and manage enlightenment. Many people struggle on one side having a worldly relationship and then have spiritual journey. So struggle. Okay, why are all the so-called enlightened people in this world all are swamis?
Because there are less of bandhans to deal with.
Imagine the swami is giving a talk. Abhi aapko moksha milna hai. And somebody says, Papa, mujhe chocolate chahiye, Papa. Huh? Then what should the enlightened person say? हाँ बेटा 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 बैठे हो मैं टॉफी लेके आ रहा हूँ मैं टॉफी लेके आ रहा हूँ पहले मेरे अपने मोक्षा का टॉक करने दो मोक्षा के टॉक करने के बाद मैं टॉफी लाता हूँ difficult, right? Not so easy. So it's not that enlightened people are against marriage or relationships, but the relationship is with SIP, and you can love all as SIP, and you can be in bliss and that state. That is awakening, that is realization, that is enlightenment. Otherwise, it's a challenge. Who is
Thank you,
next?
Guruji.
Thank you. We have 15 minutes. Should we have questions or should we close? Pavan is asking the question.
वो थोड़ी देर के लिए वो माइंड सेट से माइंड और वो से नीचे आ जाएगा क्योंकि वो दर्शन करेगा तो उसके बाद हो जाएगा
I'm not understanding.
यानी जो स्पिरिचुअल पाथ पे नहीं है
जो स्पिरिचुअल पाथ पे नहीं है हाँ
दर्शन करेगा
स्टैचू का दर्शन करता है फिर हाँ
तो थोड़ी देर के लिए वो माइंड
वो स्पिरिचुअल पाथ पे नहीं तो दर्शन करने दो क्या प्रॉब्लम है
नहीं उस समय माइंड वो जो ईगो रहेगा वो ड्रॉप हो जाएगा ना
क्यों ड्रॉप होगा
तो उसकी उधर
क्या उधर कुछ भी वो शिव जी का स्टैचू देख रहा है क्या प्रॉब्लम है वो enlightenment नहीं है, spiritual नहीं है. Please check your question. I'm not very clear. So I'm not able to understand the question. Okay, Will, reframe your question if you want to. What is right? Oh, you both are having discussions here? On this also, no. Okay. So, Will.
I have two further questions. This is a great luxury, being able to ask so many questions. Nobody asking questions.
Yeah, because we have 40 of us in the retreat, so they have been asking me questions since morning.
So I'm almost having a one-to-one conversation with you. It's a real pleasure. Thank you very much.
Yes, two questions by Will. Yes, Will.
Firstly, the question in English, we have these words righteousness and unrighteousness. I want you to comment on those two words. And secondly, for purity of the spirit, it seems very much in the Buddha stressed spiritual friendship. Like purity of spirit means associating with people who themselves are pure in spirit. For example, to associate with a guru or a friend, and to not associate with people who are toxic.
Okay, so we will take one by one question. So first question. What's the first question again?
Well, the first question is, if I said purity of spirit means avoiding unrighteous actions and thoughts.
So let me explain to you. What is this word righteous and unrighteous? The word righteous and unrighteous is being defined out of convenience. Let me explain to you. If I am living in, for example, a Jain community, if I'm living in a Jain community, do you know that it is unrighteous to eat onions? It is unrighteous to eat ginger. It is unrighteous to eat potatoes.
Yes.
And somebody in the Christian community will laugh at you, crazy man. What are you doing? What are you talking? What's the problem in eating potatoes? How can it be unrighteous? But for the Jain community, it is unrighteous. Now, let me tell you, there may be one community or religion for whom being a butcher is righteous. So you are a butcher, and it is the best profession in that community or that society to be a butcher. But if you come to a place like Gujarat in India, it is unrighteous for you to be a butcher. How can you be slaughtering animals every day? It's unrighteous. Therefore, this word righteous and unrighteous has to be replaced with consciousness. And therefore, when you're in consciousness, then you are above this body, mind, ego, and you reach a state where you are in a divine consciousness, and you realize what is righteousness and not righteousness from the point of view of your consciousness. Did you get my point of view?
I kind of get it. It's an interesting thing because you seem to prefer this word toxic, which is quite a good word actually. And the Buddha used this word attachment and craving. Craving is a very strong word for the Buddha. That was maybe his favorite word, craving. And the other word he used was this word defilement, but especially the word asava. I don't know if you know that word asava, but it's like a defilement really.
So we are doing a first Buddhist podcast. I think when we are doing first Buddhist podcast on Tuesday. On Tuesday. So Wednesday. Wednesday we are doing the first Buddhist podcast with the director of the Tibet House in Delhi. So really? we will be talking about shunyata, and if there are some terms you would like to cover, you can send me. So we will be the first time we are doing a Buddhist podcast. And
the problem in talking across traditions is everybody has their own vocabulary, and this is
absolutely that's the problem. Now, for example, in some religions, they cut meat and give it in the temple or in their place of worship. But for somebody else, it is sacrilege. How dare? How can you do it? So, what's the second question, Ben?
The second question was, we're talking about blessed are those who are pure in spirit, and it also implies purity of spirit means associating with people who themselves are pure in spirit. but it's an indirect. But as long as you associate with people who are impure in spirit, you are necessarily going to be infected by their impurity.
Actually, actually not. Because blessed are the pure in spirit means, suppose you are pure in spirit, then for you, as a pure spirit, every spirit is pure. The moment you become pure in spirit, that means you realize that SIP, the Supreme, is in all. Therefore, to the man who's pure in spirit, there is no good and bad. There is no perfect and imperfect. There is no impure and impure spirit. The moment you become a pure spirit, a pure soul, then you see the Supreme in all. It's just like this will. Sometimes a man may look and say, this lizard is very ugly. Right, Will? A man may say the lizard is very ugly. But what does one lizard think of another lizard? The lizard thinks that the other lizard is very beautiful. So it is one who is pure in spirit. That person sees the pure spirit in all. That is the way it is. So I don't really still anything else, Will?
That's for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. We have a few minutes if anybody wants to ask a question. Otherwise, we are going to go to bhajans. Yes.
Suppose some person
Dies a natural death.
because of the disease or he will take immediately rebirth. If a person is having some accident, if he dies because of the accident.
Accident.
So it should not have the bearing on the process of rebirth accident. But
rebirth is not unnatural death. Rebirth is natural death as per karma.
So, but I have seen a lot of people speak on this that some vibrant energy is there. It's not a time to say maybe that's the one. Is it?
It's completely wrong. Let me explain something to you. Death, the only death which is unnatural is if you go to the top of the building and you jump. You take a fasi ka fanda or you take a knife and you kill yourself. Very close relative of mine. Very close relative, my family, like as good as blood family, took a knife and stabbed himself. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many stabs? Big knife. Did not die. Did not die. Big knife, big stab. Death is in the hands of the divine. Normally, even suicide, even atmahatya, sometimes SIP can stop it. Many times SIP will stop it. But if somebody is bent upon it, that is the only death which gets affected by karma. Other death, accident, all these things are all approved by karma. So there is nothing energy left here, and ये सभी अच्छे लोग बड़े लोग बड़े लोग महान लोग कुछ भी बोल सकते हैं. अगर कैडबरीज कुछ चॉकलेट खाएगा, बकवास चॉकलेट, फिर भी हम खाएंगे, कैडबरीज है ना, तो ब्रांड हो जाता है ऐसा. Anybody? Should I close? I'm getting 5 minutes holiday. I'm going to get 5. Oh, Bliko saying no holiday for you. Bliko and Will, 2 more questions. Yes, Bliko and Will. We'll close with these 2 questions. Bliko and Will.
Siva, we are lucky because today we are getting more chances. So I would like to ask.
Sure.
So we have this subject very long back, I think, magic and Pirlu, right? I think each and every word of magic and Pirlu has, you can write one book on it, looks like. So would you like to take one by one or maybe you can summarize it, or it will be very helpful, and to
What
all
is
of us
what is
who are
what is the acronym of magic? Mumukshutva? Accept.
mumukshutva.
Accept.
Mumukshutva. I see, I got forgot.
G.
So it G, yeah, Guru's guidance and God's grace, and remove ignorance, and living in consciousness.
So I think magic needs to be built a little stronger, but
stronger,
no doubt,
correct.
Pirlu is ready for a book.
Very nice. Yeah, it's ready for
purification, illumination, realization, liberation, unification. Pirlu is a good book, straight book possibility.
Yeah.
But it's more a
magic.
It's a magic.
Common, but magic, the Mumukshutva has so many things in it. It is packed with so many things, because Mumukshutva you cannot have in a simple one word, like sentence, right? Yeah. Because it requires so many qualities built in the one word. So you can,
but I have got about 20 books in the pipeline.
Yeah. So what I'm telling you, not the book, but it can be a subject of discussion in a line when you arrange.
Again, you want to do it again, magic and
again, repeat again, because that will be better for all the people,
many new people
as well as old.
Yeah, okay, done. So magic and Pillu, please make note for Zoom calls, some Friday discussions. Will and Rumataji, 2 minutes to go. Finally, no 5 minutes free time. Will and Rumataji.
I'm not sure if you're aware that the Pope is now making some very controversial statements. He's saying that all religions lead to God, and the Catholic people are very angry with him. They say this is not correct, that only the Catholic Church leads to God, and so on. I don't know if you have any reflection on that.
No, I read somewhere. I read about the Pope. Did we not read about the Pope saying all religions lead to God? The Pope said that all religions lead to God. He's right. He's probably being a little bit more practical, and he wants everybody. Probably he will attract more people to convert into the Catholic Church, because they will think he's not radical anymore. So he's more liberal. So, Will, the final thing is, you and me know it, that without religion, we cannot realize God. And with religion, we cannot realize God. So we have to go beyond religion. Maybe we'll meet the Pope one day. We can go together and meet the Pope.
I'd like to see you. When you meet him, he usually gives everyone a big hug. So
Okay, you go as AiR, I'll follow you. So he'll give you the hug first.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Rumataji, thank you, Will. Thank you for keeping the questions going. Last question, Rumataji, 9 o'clock.
Nam Guruji, Shivoham. Guruji, just now you were saying some allow the non-veg to be given as prasad in temples, etc. This means religion is allowing this all.
Yes.
So, which is not correct, I feel.
But हमारे काली माता के टेम्पल में ही काट के देते हैं.
But Guruji, I feel this is not correct. You slaughter the animals and भगवान को चढ़ाओ.
रूमाता जी, आप और हम कौन है बोलने वाले?
So this means religion is hindrance now.
I don't know who has gone to Kalima temple. They make mutton biryani and give mutton biryani, did they? But what do they give you? They make biryani and give you, or what? Where have you been? You've been in Calcutta. So they say yes, in Calcutta they cut the goat and they give you. In Bali, they offer? What they offer, I can't hear. Pigs. Okay, I don't want to comment on these things. So Rumataji, ये जिंदगी है. People are in their own world. People are seeking their own way of doing things. So we are not worried about it. हमें अपनी मुक्ति चाहिए, हमें अपना मोक्ष चाहिए. Let us
वो तो
work.
ठीक है.
Let us work.
That is correct.
Yeah, what you say, you have a valid point. But let us move forward. अभी यहाँ पे 9 बज गए, हमारा खाना वाना हो गया. We had some good pav bhaji today. The group had pav bhaji and some mancho soup. And अभी हमारा भजन प्रोग्राम शुरू होने वाले हैं. कृष्णा भी आ गई ओवरनाइट, रात नाइट मिडनाइट फ्लाइट में कृष्णा आके पहुंच गई. तो अभी यहाँ पे हम भजन शुरू करेंगे. With folded hands, I bow down to you. We'll see you tomorrow back at 8.
Guruji, missing all of you.